Thanks for listening to the BlockNation Crypto Podcast. I'm your host, Drew Griffin. This is the most entertaining crypto show in all crypto. This episode, we're going to talk about stable coins, how we have way too many stable coins, how the exchanges that are printing stable coins are basically glorified crypto banks, and how at the end of the day, we probably only need about 2 or 3 actual stable coins. One of those, in my opinion, is DAI. Like always, don't take investment advice from strangers on the internet. This is just my opinion. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Drew Griffin. Make sure you check out my blog. Hit me up on email. Leave me a comment if you got any questions. I want to hear your feedback. Thanks for listening. So I got a message from Mike NY, New York Jets SB 2018. Sent me a message saying, Drew, why you been so bearish on crypto? I mean, are you against crypto? I'm not. I'm very bullish on a lot of cryptos out there, okay? I just feel as an investor, I owe it to everyone else in the market to let them know when they're making bad investments, okay? It's part of my show. I'm very forward with my thoughts and opinions, and if I think something's a poor investment, I'm going to talk about it, okay? And I had to kind of dog on Bat Token earlier in the week, and I'm going to have to dog on a lot of stable coins today, but I'm very bullish on crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, okay, XLM, Binance Coin. I think these are about to take off very, very shortly in the near future. I do have to give a disclaimer, that's my opinion. Don't take investment advice from strangers on the internet. Goodness gracious. Quit doing that, people. But I'm very bullish on crypto. Very bullish. I love crypto. I got my bags packed deep with several of the top cap crypto coins, and I got some altcoins that, maybe could take off. We'll see with them, just some gambling. I like to throw the dice every now and then, but I'm not trying to be negative this week. I just have to let people know when it's a lousy investment, and so that's kind of been what I've been talking about. And I do want to talk about stable coins, because first of all, we got way too many stable coins out there, and I've been saying this for a while. We don't need that many, because they're starting to act like banks, okay? Bitfinex, the USDT Tether thing, I mean, that is outrageous. Losing $850 million, hiding it with a stable coin. This is the same thing banks have been doing for years, getting slapped with government fines, although they're able to make more money by participating in these illegal activities. Banks have been doing this for years, and stable coins are turning to banks. And a lot of the exchanges, okay, are glorified banks. And what you have to be careful with, because any company, person, organization, government that's ever had the ability to print money without releasing a public and well-performed audit always abuses that power. I mean, you give someone the ability to print money, they're going to take it way beyond what it should be and do a lot of shady, sketchy stuff like lose money and hide it by using their printing money services. Okay, so we have way too many stable coins out there, all right? I think we only need a couple. I'll get into the ones I think we need. And, I mean, they're just printing money right now, okay? Are you going to tell me JP Morgan coin isn't going to perform a lot of the same shady stuff JP Morgan has been getting fined millions of dollars for the past few decades for doing? Okay, now you're giving them the ability to print more money, okay? And we're not talking about, them having the ability to print the US dollar. They're able to print a whole new asset class and call it money. And you don't think that this isn't going to be, there's not going to be some sort of major misconduct with what they're doing. So I think we got too many stable coins. The ones I'm a fan of, they still have their own issues. And I think what a lot of people, I've never understood this. People investing in stable coins. How do you invest in something that's supposed to be pegged and have a fixed price? And when I saw, it was like a year ago, a lot of talk and a lot of news, okay, stable coins are going to save crypto. Stable coins are going to be the future of crypto. People are going to make so much money with stable coins, all this stuff. I'm sitting here like, what? The price isn't supposed to increase. How do you make money? It doesn't pay a dividend. It doesn't increase. You don't own debt. It's what's the investment? Okay, you're just hoping that you don't lose money. All right, yeah, every now and then Tether goes from $1 to $1.03. I mean, how are you going to make money off of a stable coin? So I've never understood the idea that it's an investment, because it's not an investment. The whole idea of a stable coin is that it was a crypto that's not volatile. So if you want to transfer one asset to a stable coin just to reduce your risk of volatility, or instead of, buying one crypto to buy another crypto for like a trading pair. So instead of buying Ethereum, and then between you buying Ethereum and a different coin, the price jumps or decreases, you don't lose money on that. That was the whole idea of a stable coin, just to have something that's not volatile. Okay? So the idea that it's investment or it's going to save crypto is beyond me. I don't get, crypto didn't need a whole bunch of different stable coins. Okay, now I get why the banks are trying to use it, because they know that their financial services are becoming real close to being obsolete with stuff like Bitcoin, where people don't have to use banks anymore. Okay, so I get why they want to do it, and there's probably some underlying incentive for them to have some ability, the print money or whatever. I get that, but this idea that stable coins are going to save crypto was just, it's beyond me. And if you have a good reason why, let me know about it, because I can't think of one, and I think it's foolishness that anybody would even say that. All right? And I want people to really understand the price of a stable coin isn't really pegged. Okay? There's nothing that's really keeping that value. Okay? Even if every coin truly is backed by a dollar, and Tether is not. I've been saying it for years. Tether is not backed by one-to-one for dollars like they keep saying, all right? Don't buy in that bullcrap. But even if it really truly is, so let's say you got some sort of stable coin that there's 1 million of them, and it's backed by truly $1 million in USD. It's not truly pegged to that price, because let's say I own 1,000 of those coins. I want to dump it off. I'm willing to lose some money. I could sell my 1,000 whatever stable coin that's supposed to be pegged at $1 for 75 cents. Okay, I don't have to sell it for $1. It's whatever the market's willing to pay, whatever someone's willing to sell for it. So I could dump my 1,000 stable coins that are supposed to be pegged at $1 for 75 cents. That's going to make the price go down. Now, 1,000 out of 1 million is not going to affect the price that much, but you get the idea. It's not truly pegged at a single dollar. And let's say you get something like similar to a bank run, but a stable coin, and people are just trying to unload it because, let's say, a government makes it illegal, or they find out that the funds really aren't solvent. You could have a bank run, and people are just going to sell it for whatever they can. They get as much money back as, even if they got to take a hit on there. So it's not really pegged at $1. I think that's very important, because a lot of people don't understand that, and that's why we see the price fluctuate. It's whatever people are willing to pay and sell it for that price is pegged at. Now, you're assuming that whatever holding company, okay, maintains that $1 ratio, which Tether doesn't. All right, been saying that for years. Don't use Tether, because stuff like this could happen, and you could be stuck with a coin that isn't solvent. But even if it is truly backed one for one, you're not guaranteed that it's going to stay at $1. If a bank run does happen, or you could be in a lot of trouble by holding that money in that stable coin. Really, at the end of the day, you're safer holding the currency that it's supposed to be pegged by, if you're going to do it for the long run. Now, if you're just trying to, move your funds over to a stable coin for a couple of days and you can go buy something else, okay, probably not a big deal. But you are exposing yourself to a little bit more risk at this current time by maintaining money in a stable coin than you are, let's say, the US dollar. Okay, and I'm a big believer that we're ruining the US dollar. Okay, we're inflating it out of control. We're spending more of it. Our whole theory behind economics is flawed. I mean, I'm all in on that. Okay, but if I'm trying to store money for a given amount of time, let's say 6 months, a year, whatever, I'm putting more risk by keeping it as a stable coin because of what's going on with Tether right now. I mean, how many of y'all didn't know that Bitfinex was hiding $850 million of lost funds? A lot of people didn't know that. Okay, so your Tether, all right, your money stored in Tether has been exposed to way more risk versus if you just kept it in the US dollar. Okay, so I think we got too many stable coins. I think stable coins, you got to be wary of them turning into Ponzi schemes. Okay, because a lot of these stable coins like Bitfinex, they're basically fractional reserve banking. Okay, they're taking a little bit of money and they're printing more out than they really had, and now they may be able to say, okay, we'll collect that transaction fee and maybe fill up that void. But that gets you in a lot of trouble when you do stuff like that. Okay, you have to maintain that one-for-one backing to whatever it's pegged on. And these things can easily turn into Ponzi schemes. I'm not saying Tether's a Ponzi scheme, although they got a lot of bullcrap going on. But they could take in money, okay, and pay early investors of the coin a little bit of a dividend from that new money that they collect by selling their stable coin. So very easily could turn into a Ponzi scheme. I really think we only need about 3 stable coins. I don't know why we got so many on the market. One of my favorite stable coins that I use is DAI. Okay, I am a big fan of Maker. I think it's a very interesting project. I like how DAI is based by code and algorithms, and it's not in control of just one person. Okay, I think that's what a stable coin should be. Now, DAI still comes with lots of different types of risk. Like I said, what if a government just comes out and says, hey, stable coins, we're banning them, all right? Or, something happens, there's a bug in the system, the network gets, whatever, all the possibilities of things that probably aren't likely to happen, but they could. You're exposing yourself to a lot of risk by holding your money in there. Like I said, I'm a big fan of DAI. I like all the different services you could do with DAI, like CDPs. I'm a big fan of Maker and how those two coins are linked up together. But I don't think we need 30 different stable coins. Okay, I think it's unnecessary. If we can just come up with like 3 solid stable coins that are going to maintain its value over the long run, I think that's all we need. I think DAI is one of them. I really don't know off the top of my head what the other 2 may be. Throw me your feedback and your opinions on what they should be, okay? But it worries me. All these different stable coins coming out and how we can get out of control, like what's happened with Tether and Bitfinex. I mean, it's just, come on, man. How are you going to hide $850 million? But what did you expect? Okay, it's owned by a company that's out in the Caribbean that doesn't have to report to any major country, doesn't have to produce a public audit, and they have the ability to print money, and we're just shocked when we see news like this come out. I mean, come on, I could have told you that. And I mean, this can be taken out of context, but if it's a crypto and their headquarters are based in the Caribbean, it's probably a scam. Okay, I hate to break it to you. That's probably a scam because I haven't seen very many projects come out from those countries where there's very loose financial laws, and that's where a lot of, if you look at history of financial scams, a lot of them are based in Caribbean countries, and it's not a knock on those countries. They just have looser financial laws and looser regulations for financial companies. But if you see a crypto based in one of these countries, be very, very, very wary of it because a lot of times this is where financial scams get started. And so I'm not surprised with Tether. Okay, when this news came out, I just said, hey, what did we expect? And I've been telling people for years, I even wrote an article, why I'm not touching Tether. I mean, you can check it out on my blog. But I wasn't shocked when I saw this news. I didn't think it would be to that amount. I didn't think it would be $850 million worth. And it's a total mess. Okay, a lot of people's funds are locked up right now. And that's the worst case scenario that you can happen is people don't have access to their money. But you can't give people the power to print money. Why we invented Bitcoin. Okay, that's why it's in existence. That's one of its main use cases is you can't inflate the supply. It's based on code and algorithms, and no human has any control over the amount of Bitcoin that's minted. All right, all has to do with people mining. So I think that's your main differences. What's interesting, what is Tron going to do with their new partnership with USDT? Okay, that's something I've been talking about for a little bit, and I almost suspect, and I wonder if this was Tether's way of like starting over. Okay, so they knew that their funds originally with Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network weren't solvent. Okay, they knew they effed up. They're like, God, crap, we really screwed this up. It's not back 1-for-1. What if we can restart by putting our stable coin on the Tron network, and then we'll start having some audits and people can see that it's back to 1-to-1. I wonder if this was an attempt to do that. I don't know. I would like to know that. But it's going to be interesting to see going forward with TRX as, what's going to happen. And if people will still trust Tether, I mean, they're obviously printing money out. It's obviously not solvent. They're using your money. They're spending it. They run their company. Probably the payout executive is big dollars, so they can go on fancy vacations, all at the expense of the people who are the investors. So it's going to be interesting to see if people still back USDT. And I think there will be some that do it. It's also going to be interesting to see, what type of government laws come down on them, or government regulation comes from this. But my whole thing is stable coins and the exchanges printing these stable coins, they're acting just like banks. And if you tell me a crypto exchange isn't a bank, think about it. Okay, you give them their money, you give them your money, all right? They usually charge you a transaction fee for sending them your money. They hold on to it, they store it, and they give it back to you for a fee. Okay, when you need it, that's a bank. You add in a stable coin that isn't solvent, okay, that's fractional reserve banking in a nutshell. So be wary. A lot of crypto exchanges are becoming banks. It's just a new age type of bank, and it's dealing with crypto. All right, so I need people to understand that. I really need to do some more research on stable coins. Personally, I wouldn't leave my money in a stable coin for the long term. All right, if you're fortunate to live in a country where you have, some strong fiat, like US dollar, I think US dollar is going to be able to store money for, several more years down the road. It hasn't reached hyperinflation yet, and it's not exposing yourself to the extra amount of risk as a lot of these stable coins, okay? Because it is more risky, because you don't know what's going to happen, okay, to that stable coin. And something like Bitfinex could happen to any stable coin, okay? If Tether was the most popular stable coin in the globe, and you saw what they were doing with it, okay? So think of like a smaller stable coin that's not as big of a company with as big a cash flow, and you're putting your entire trust of your money with these people. I think holding it in fiat is actually a better bet than a lot of stable coins out there, short of maybe DAI. And I would keep my eyes on DAI, because they do have some issues going on, especially with how much they're going to charge for fees, and there's some dissent amongst the DAI community. But just be wary holding your money in a stable coin, okay? If you really want to put your money in something that's going to increase in value, I put mine in a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ethereum, okay? So if you don't want to put it in fiat and you can sustain some volatility, I would do Bitcoin, I would do Ethereum. You go to my blog, I got a whole other list of cryptos I really am high on. TRX, it's gonna be interesting, because especially if this USDT Tether's token stablecoin gets on the TRX network, and Tether has had rumors of pumping the price of Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's going to happen on TRX, but hey, who knows? Okay, so that may be one big reason why Justin Sun and TRX Foundation wants to bring on Tether, because they know it could increase its volume and maybe make the price spike. So I've been a holder of TRX for a long time now. I wish the price would move off 2 cents. It's been stuck on the 2 to 3 cent range for a long time. But that's been my show. Like I said, if you got to use a stable coin, I would probably use DAI. Like I said before, this is just my opinion. Don't take advice from strangers on the internet. How many times have I got to say that? I get some person that gets upset with me for giving my opinion. Okay, you don't know me. Make sure you talk to your financial consultant before you invest in anything. But if you got to use a stable coin, don't use Tether. I've been saying that for like a year. Quit using Tether, dang it. All right, jump on DAI. They got some cool stuff, like some collateralized debt positions. It is an awesome network. If you have any information about the stable coin, I keep checking out their website. It's called Luna. All right. And I saw this on CNBC South Africa, their crypto trading show that they have. And I haven't been able to get too much more information on it. It's been a really interesting stable coin based on how the structure was going to be set up and how the fees go back to the people that hold the coin. I wish I had more information on it. If you have some, please shoot me a comment in the link. Hit me up through email on my website, on Twitter, whatever. But thanks for listening. I'm your host, Drew Griffin. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. This is going out on Friday, so I hope you do enjoy your weekend. Make sure you check back up with me on Tuesday morning. I'm going to produce my show and pump out podcasts the rest of that week and every single week for that matter. I am bringing on some good guests. Okay, so make sure you subscribe. Check me out. Leave me any comment or feedback you may have. And thanks for listening.